Welcome back. On this day, day 36 of the government shutdown, the longest shutdown in American history after Democrats voted down the GOP's clean continuing resolution again. It was the 14th time. Here's the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson.
I don't think any of us expected that it would drag on this long. We didn't believe, we couldn't have imagined. It's now tied for the longest shutdown in U.S. history. Over the past 34 days of this shutdown, the Republicans have been the only ones working in good faith to end the shutdown and get everyone paid and get the services flowing again. And we have voted that way 14 times. The past 5 weeks have been painfully clear that Democrats are not interested in doing their most basic job. The Schumer shutdown was never about health care or any other policy that they claim now. The Schumer shutdown was never about health care or any other policy that they claim now. They fear political retribution from far-left activists more than families going hungry and workers missing paychecks.
A deal to get the doors open beginning to take shape. However, Democrats and Republicans have been hashing out a short-term funding package idea and a possible vote on Obamacare subsidies. The shutdown affecting operations inside the halls of power. The Small Business Administration forced to cancel National Veterans Small Business Week because of it. And joining me now is U.S. Small Business Administrator Kelly Loeffler. Kelly, it's great to see you this morning. Thank you so much for being here.
Good morning,
Have you
Maria.
had to furlough lots of employees in your agency? Tell us how the government shutdown is affecting things.
Well, look, Maria, this federal shutdown is brought to you by the Senate Democrats. It's the party of defund the police is now defund America, especially Main Street America. To date, in the first 36 days of this historic shutdown, and by the way, it's no coincidence that it comes on the one-year anniversary of President Trump's historic election. It proves two things. First of all, Democrats cannot accept the fact that President Trump won in a landslide election. And secondly, they're willing to do anything to stop his America First agenda. And nowhere is it more apparent than on Main Street, where over 8,000 small businesses have not been able to access their SBA loans. Now we're talking an economic impact of over $4.5 billion spread across main streets in this country. And so at our agency, we're only able to serve disaster recovery efforts. I was in Alaska last week serving citizens there, helping them recover from Typhoon Halong. But look, small businesses to the tune of over 8,000 are not getting their loans. That means when small businesses only have 27 days of working capital and we're 36 days into this shutdown, we're starting to see layoffs. We're starting to see businesses close. 12,000 small business contractors have not, or I'm sorry, 50,000 small business contractors have lost access to $12 billion. So it's having a real Main Street impact.
Yeah, and you know, I made the point last weekend that now that we're talking about air traffic control under pressure, calling in sick, TSA agents calling in sick, they're working without pay. I feel like that's a real choke point for the economy. And I was getting nervous that, you know, we've been ignoring this for several weeks, but now it's actually having a serious hit on the economic backdrop. I mean, you just mentioned thousands of SBA loans paused due to the shutdown. The Small Business Administration estimating $170 million in aid is being withheld from 320 small businesses every day as the doors remain closed. What would you expect in terms of the effect on the economy in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, I mean, this is a critical time. Look, we came into this quarter with a strong tailwind thanks to President Trump's economic agenda. We had second quarter GDP at 3.8. The Atlanta Fed's GDP now is forecasting 3.9. But now the CEA says about $15 billion every week are costs. So that's $60 billion in a single month of economic impact, 43,000 jobs in a month. I mean, this is serious, Maria, because these are jobs that are being lost at small businesses at Main Street. Small businesses make up 99% of all businesses in this country, and they create 2 out of every 3 new jobs. So this is hurting families. Senate Democrats know that, though. They've been very clear. They know that leverage is they're leveraging people's pain, and they're leveraging the pain of not only small businesses, but our air traffic controllers, our military, our veterans. You mentioned our veterans, small businesses. They account for about 10% of all small business loans at SBA, so about 800 small businesses by veterans haven't gotten funding. Next week, we had to cancel our Veterans Small Business event because Senate Democrats want to leverage the pain of our veterans. And Senate Democrats simply need to do their job, reopen this government, and get everyone back to work so that we can make sure people can feed their families and keep their jobs.
Well, I mean, you said the Democrats can't face the fact that President Trump won the election and is leading and doing well. You've had a successful 2025 before this. The SBA delivered nearly $45 billion to over 85,000 small businesses. So going into this, things were going well. Why do you think it is that, I mean, Chuck Schumer wants to create chaos so that President Trump has to deal with more issues? Because the last time we saw a government shutdown was during President Trump's first term. And again, the Democrats shut it down, and it was the longest in history, only eclipsed by this one.
That's right. I mean, look, the Senate Democrats right now have shown a preference for resistance over regular order. That's how they're going to run their operations on that side. That's why we have to be ready for this and make sure that we are aware of their strategy to resist everything that this president does. I mean, under President Trump, we've achieved peace deals. We've achieved economic growth, fair trade, $4 trillion in tax cuts. The list goes on, and this is what they can't stand. And that's why they want to inflict pain on the American people, because they don't have an answer for their lack of agenda. And right now, we see across this country, people are going hungry. We have air traffic challenges. Our military risks not getting paid. Our veterans services aren't getting funded. Small business loans are putting the American dream on hold for thousands and thousands of families.
What about this fraud story? A shocking undercover investigation into the SBA's 8A program, exposing fraud and bribery schemes, exploiting minority-owned businesses to score big federal contracts, Kelly. What are you doing to clean up that fraud and ensure that doesn't continue?
Well, Maria, this is really important. From day one, I came in and said, this administration, under my leadership, we will not tolerate waste, fraud, and abuse at the SBA. And we've cracked down on it every step of the way. The 8A program was designed for socially and economically disadvantaged small businesses. It's become a giant DEI program to the tune of $100 billion a year. And there are example after example, thanks to what I initiated was a 15-year look-back audit of the program. And it's rife with waste, fraud, and a lot of abuse. So it's shell companies, it's pass-through companies. It's exactly what taxpayers suspect is coming out of these federally run DEI programs. We're cracking down on it. I'm grateful to the support of working with federal law enforcement. We've got a lot more work to do. We'll bring you more results, but rest assured, under my watch, we will crack down on it and make sure that taxpayers are made whole and that this program gets preserved for small businesses who are deserving.
Kelly, real quick, I know that both sides used the shutdown as a way to lure people to come out and vote last night. The Democrats had a good night last night. Your reaction to what took place in New York with Zohran Mamdani now, mayor-elect?
Well, it's shocking to see a communist be a mayor of the capital of capitalism. And I was just in New York visiting small businesses from Midtown up to the Bronx. They're already struggling under Democratic policies. This is going to be a crisis in the city of New York to have a communist in there talking about seizing the means of production, taking away opportunities from small businesses, raising taxes, making promises that can't be kept. It's a cautionary tale for the rest of the country, but this is what the Democratic Party is. This is the face of the Democrat Party now, and you saw that with everyone, coming in and bowing to him. And this is why, this is what's at stake. It's the future of our country. It's free enterprise is at risk now. Yep. And small businesses are going to be the first to suffer.
All right, Kelly, great to get your take on all of that. Good to see you. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Maria.
Kelly Loeffler joining us. Thank you. We'll be right back. Stay with us.